Good morning. Today I tell you a story about Albert Einstein, because my next book is about Albert Einstein. It will be publishing 9 January, January 9 in Italy, and the title is Einstein Forever, because I made some research in America, in Princeton, in the north, near in the east, near New York, and during 1 year I made this research about the Einstein period, because Einstein was born in Europe, and he stayed 20 years in Europe, but from 1933 he went in United States, because he is Jewish, and Adolf Hitler went to the power, and he promulgated a law that say all Jewish physicists cannot study or teach physicists in Europe. So Einstein was Jewish, and like a lot of other physicists came here in United States. So I found in my research a lot of letters that children sent to Albert Einstein, and my book is this. I start with a letter. Each capital start with a letter from a child, written by a child, and if this letter was about the period of Einstein, he answered to the children. If the letter was in our period, because the children in our period continuously write a letter to him, to the address of Albert Einstein in Princeton, I answered for him in place of Albert Einstein. So each capital starts with a letter. First letter, for example, is this: Dear Dr. Einstein, my brother and I are building a rocket to go to Mars or Venus. We hope we will go too. We want you to go too, because we need a good scientist and someone who knows how to drive the rocket back. It is okay if Mary comes too. She is only 2 years old and she is a very pretty girl. We hope, however, that you will have a good trip in case you go before us. With love, John Jurgensen from Indiana. This is one of the letters that Einstein received in America, where he lived. In 1933 he moved to America, and for the last 20 years he lived there. I went to Princeton in New Jersey, and I made my research. I answered to this letter, but he answered to this letter too. But it's a pretext to speak about the think of Albert Einstein, because in this letter the children John Jurgensen asked to Einstein about Mars and Venus. So I answered for this letter speaking about Mars, because in our day Mars is very important objective. Elon Musk speak that he was to go to Mars, and a lot of people think that Mars is the next step where we go. After Moon there is Mars now. Yes, this is a letter addressed to the number 112 Mercer Street, Princeton, New Jersey 08540, the United States of America. Today it is a private house. A family lives there. I also went to the post office near Trenton, also in New Jersey, where everything is stored. A great place. I didn't think there was much feeling in a post office. A timeless place. The staff gave them to me. Some people say they write to him because it makes them feel smarter, other because of great existential doubts, other because they don't believe in Santa Claus and only he remains, other because they don't believe in that. So people nowadays write to Einstein, also if Einstein died in 1955. For this reason I write this book, because I would like to answer to the people that write to Einstein. I'm a physicist too, so I can use his physics and can use our physics, because evolved physics during the period that Einstein is not here, and for this reason I can give to the children other answer. Yes, I take another letter because so you know that there are some very funny letter. Yes, dear Mr. Einstein, I am a small girl of 6. I saw your picture in the newspaper. I think you have a duty to cut your hair because you would look better. Yours sincerely, Anne Cochin. So these children ask to Einstein to cut the hair because it doesn't look good for her think. So I answered, dear Anne, I know Einstein already answered you, but I will too. Albert Einstein continued, even after the extraordinary success, to always be horrified by any imposition, even with the clothes he could not stand or the image imposed by others. He always wore a sweater, a pair of clamped pants, and a pair of sandals. He would often go to conferences to give lectures with baggy pants and without socks. And he could not understand how others gave importance to such details. For him, they were just nonsense. Albert Einstein was a nonconformist man. He did not pay tribute to the powerful. He did not limit his freedom in exchange for promise of jobs. And he did not obtain a job position in exchange for compromise with politics. He always said what he thought. He had his own idea about everything, about religion, about politics, about banking, and also about music. For example, on religion, when Einstein was a boy, a lazy boy, he thought this about religion. The word of God, he said this, the word of God is nothing more than the product of our human weakness. And the Bible is a collection and honorable and primitive legend, and even rather childish. The Jewish religion is an embodiment and the most puerile superstition, he said this. But after, when he grew up, in the American period, he changed. In the American period that I prefer about him, he had a change. One day, Max Born, another physicist, German physicist, went to visit him in Mercer Street in Princeton, New Jersey. And when he left his house, he wrote to Niels Bohr, another physicist, Danish physicist. He wrote this: Einstein has become an idiot because, yes, he had found him talking to God, sitting on the sofa, looking on the wall, and talking to God, because he changed, and he had understand that there is another over the human, another person, or not person, another something over human. And also about music I have a position. He had cataloged all the greatest musicians, and he had labeled them one by one. I imagine him during a gala evening when he begins to run with the ladies dressed in long gauze and the men in tails. Meanwhile, he was wearing baggy pants, and said this: Mozart music is so pure that it seems to have always been present in the universe. It's okay, Mozart. Beethoven created his music, but I feel uncomfortable listening to it. I think it's too emotional, almost naked. Give me back, rather back, back and back again. I admire Schubert also for his extraordinary ability to express emotion, while I think that Handel shows a certain approximation in some performances. Mendelssohn shows a considerable talent, but also an indeterminable superficiality, and often leads to banality. Wagner suffers from a lack of architectural structure that I consider a sign of decline. Strauss is given with talent, indeed very talent, but without inner truth. So, in the history of thought, the words of Albert Einstein represent one of those critical movements which provide a new vision of the world. Einstein revolutionized common thinking. He said think that nobody thought in his period, and now we write his thought in social media, in diary, and also when we discovered the photo of even horizon or gravitational wave, we speak about Albert Einstein. So I think that Albert Einstein is a myth that is in growing up each day, and in our days the only myth that happens this strange situation. I think that Einstein was a good motivation too. Yes, because I find that last letter that I find it is this. Dear Professor Einstein, I have a problem and I would like to solve it. I would like to know how colors get into bird wings. I have lots of photos that show beautiful color. I asked my father, but he told me to ask you. Yours sincerely, Anna Lackenbach, Virginia, United States. So the children asked to Einstein a lot of things, and always the problem about mathematics, because when children doesn't understand mathematics, they brought to him. It's very funny, an anecdote when a child asked to Albert Einstein to help her in mathematics, and Albert Einstein answered her, yes, you speak to me about your problem in mathematics, yes, but you must understand that my problem in mathematics is worse than yours.